سيدنا أبو بكر مدد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نسأل الله ما شاء الله فعز وجل محمد طريقتنا والصحبة والخير في الجميع. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى. صدق الله العظيم. Firavunlar herkesin nefsi bir firavundur.
Everyone's ego is a pharaoh.
İmkan olduğu vakit, imkan varsa Firavun'un yaptığı gibi yapar.
If someone had the possibilities Pharaoh had, then everyone would be inclined to do exactly what Pharaoh did.
Firavun yapmış. Musa Aleyhisselam zamanında.
And what was it that Pharaoh did during the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam?
Halkını, milletini toplamış.
Pharaoh gathered his people.
Sizin en büyük Rabbiniz, Tanrınız benim diye.
And then Pharaoh proclaimed to his people, I'm your highest and greatest Lord.
Çıkıp iddia etmiş.
And he stood in front of people and claimed to be their highest and greatest Lord.
Firavun nefsine uyarak
Thus Pharaoh had followed his ego.
İnsanları önünde gibi köle gibi görünce
and then he saw the people in front of him listening to him, and he considered them as his slaves.
Nefsi büyümüş.
And as he was seeing all these people in front of him gathering and listening to him as his slaves, his ego became bigger and bigger.
Kabarmış. Ben neymişim diyerek şuyum ben bu kadar sizin.
And then his ego became bigger and bigger, he started boasting and became even more and more convinced of himself and of his own alleged greatness.
Başkanınızım, sizin kralınızım o yetmedi.
I am your president, I am your king, but all of these titles were not enough for him.
En sonunda ben sizin tanrınızım demiş.
In the end he said, I am your Lord.
Nefis böyle.
This is how the ego behaves.
Nefis insanı tehlikeye atar.
The ego may put a person into danger.
Helak eder.
And in the end it may ruin and destroy a person entirely.
Firavun dediğimiz gibi Allah Azze ve Celle ibret olsun diye bunu gösteriyor.
Allah Almighty has informed us about and has shown us this story of Pharaoh as a lesson and as a teaching for us.
Kur'an-ı Azimüşşan'da söylüyor.
And Allah Almighty mentions and narrates this in the Holy Quran.
İbret olsun, korkan, Allah'tan korkan.
May this be a lesson and a teaching, and may those who fear and believe in Allah Almighty heed these words and heed these lessons.
Nefsine uyman için ibret olsun.
May these be lessons and teachings to those so that they may not follow their egos.
Onu bir marifet zannedip de nefsine uymasın diye.
Do not think that it's mastery to be like Pharaoh. Do not think that it is mastery of becoming a real human being by following your ego.
İnsanoğlu Allah Azze ve Celle ibret vermiş ama ibretten anlamıyor.
Allah Almighty has given so many teachings and lessons to people, but people do not heed Allah Almighty's words and lessons.
Çoğu insanlar anlamıyor.
And most people do not understand these lessons and teachings.
Her vakit firavunlar olmuş.
And each and every time they have been pharaohs, and they still become like pharaohs.
Allah Azze ve Celle'nin dediğini yapmamışlar, yapmamaktan yetinmemişler.
They have deviated from Allah Almighty's commands, and they have not fulfilled Allah Almighty's orders.
Ona karşı gelmişler.
And not only that, they even opposed Allah Almighty's orders and came up against Allah Almighty's orders and prevented them to be fulfilled.
Onu yasaklamışlar.
They have forbidden to fulfill Allah Almighty's orders.
Onu bitirmek istemişler.
And they wanted it to destroy and prevent people entirely from fulfilling Allah Almighty's orders.
Ama kendiler bitmişler.
But in the end, they ruined and destroyed themselves.
Helak olmuşlar.
In the end, they destroyed them, ruined themselves.
Bu ibrettir.
And this is a teaching and lesson.
Dünyada da ibret, ahirette de ibret diyor.
And this is a lesson for us, for this world and the hereafter.
Allah Azze ve Celle. Dünyada da rahat olmadı o kişiler.
And those people, they did not find peace, neither in this world.
Böyle zulüm yapıp da kendilerine bir şey zannedip
Those who oppress and think of themselves to be something have not found peace in this world.
insanları eziyet verip Allah yolundan men eden Allah.
Those who have oppressed others, who made others suffer and prevented others from following Allah Almighty's way, have not found peace.
Azze ve Celle'nin söylediklerini yaptırmayanlar kendi söylediklerini yaptırmaya kalkıp da onlar da helak olup gitti.
Those who prevented others from fulfilling Allah Almighty's orders, and those who did not make others follow Allah Almighty's orders, instead made others follow their own orders, have also been ruined and destroyed by themselves in the end.
Onlara tabi olanlar da akılları başlarına gelmese onlar da helak olur.
And those who followed them have also been destroyed unless they realize and understand and come back to their senses.
Bu yol Allah yoludur.
This way is the way of Allah Almighty.
Başka yol kurtuluş değil.
There is no other way of salvation.
Hiçbir yol kurtuluş değil.
There is no other way of salvation.
Ta Firavun zamanı, ondan eski zamanlardan herkes başka yollara sapmaya,
starting from the times of Pharaoh, people have been inclined towards making up their own ways and deviating from the way of Allah Almighty.
Sapmaya uğraşmış sapanlar
people have gone astray from the way of Allah Almighty, and they have shown efforts to deviate from the way of Allah Almighty.
Helak olmuş.
But in the end, they ruined and destroyed themselves.
Allah yoluna gidenler kazanmış.
And those who follow the way of Allah Almighty have been the winners.
Kurtuluş yoluna girmiş.
And they have entered the way of salvation.
Hem dünyada kurtulmuşlar hem ahirette.
They have saved themselves in this world as well as in the hereafter.
İnşallah
As Allah Almighty wills.
Muhakkaktır.
And let there be no doubt that those who followed Allah Almighty's way will have been saved.
Başka yollara gidenler helak olmuş. Allah
And those who followed other ways have been destroyed.
muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Akıllı olan doğru yolu görür.
Those who have a mind, have a reason and can think will see the right way.
Doğru yol kocaman yol.
The right way is clear, evident,
Dümdüz gidiyor.
and it is apparent and it is straight.
Temiz,
It is clean.
güzel,
It is not beautiful.
görünüyor.
It is visible.
Gözünle görünüyor.
You can see it with your eyes.
Onu bırakıp da lüzumsuz yola, tehlikeli yola kalkıp da sapıyorsun. Sapma.
Why do you abandon this clear way and go astray from it and deviate to useless and unclear and dangerous paths? Do not deviate and go astray from Allah Almighty's clear way.
Sapıklar sapar. Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us. It is the deviators who deviate.
Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Müslümanları,
May Allah Almighty preserve the Muslims,
çocukları,
the children,
gençleri,
the youngsters,
ihtiyarları
and the elderly and everyone.
hepsini. Çünkü şeytan genç, ihtiyar dinlemiyor. Hepsi
The devil does not make a difference between elderly children or youngsters.
kandırıyor.
He fools and leads everyone astray.
Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Allah sahip göndersin bize
May Allah Almighty send us the one who will take care of us, Mehmed alayhi salam.
inşallah. Allah'a tevfik. El Fatiha.